I'm Steve Wiggins, and this is the Groundworks Ministries podcast. Now, today we're reading from the book of Jeremiah, chapter 20, and let's focus on verses 7 through 9. You deceived me, Lord, and I was deceived. You seized me and prevailed. I am a laughingstock all the time. Everyone ridicules me. For whenever I speak, I cry out, I proclaim violence and destruction, because the word of the Lord has become for me constant disgrace and derision. And if I say I won't mention him or speak any longer in his name, his message becomes a fire, burning in my heart, shut up in my bones. I become tired of holding it in, and I cannot prevail. You know, there's a myth in the church, and by myth I mean lie. And this myth teaches that if a person accepts Jesus as Lord and does everything according to the Bible, then everything will go well for that person in life. And this myth has wormed its way into the success paradigms of many ministries. As a result, there is very little room for Jeremiahs in our culture. I'm talking about people who are committed to share the hard truths of the Bible, as the Lord has led them. And yet their preaching is categorically rejected by the people the Lord led them to exhort. And because this myth is so entangled with the secular paradigm of success, many believers become disenchanted when ministry gets challenging, and positive results never seem to come as easy as it does for others. And that was Jeremiah's situation. He did everything right, everything the Lord said to do, and yet he suffered. Jesus went as far as calling such rejection a blessing. Matthew 5, verses 11 and 12, "Blessed are you when they revile and persecute you and say all kinds of evil against you falsely for my name's sake. Rejoice and be exceedingly glad, for great is your reward in heaven. For so they persecuted the prophets who were before you." Now, the Apostle Paul is a man who could relate to Jeremiah and Jesus' rejection. 1 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 18 and 19, Paul said this, "For the message of the cross is foolishness to those who are perishing, but it is God's power to us who are being saved. For it is written, I will destroy the wisdom of the wise, and I will set aside the understanding of the experts." So after his big Heroes of the Faith speech, where faithful believers were miraculously saved from disasters, the writer of Hebrews reminds us of another group of faithful believers, the one none of us really wants to be. Hebrews 11, verses 35 through 40. Some men were tortured, not accepting release so that they might gain a better resurrection, and others experienced mocking and scourging, as well as bonds and imprisonment. They were stoned and they were sawed in two. They died by the sword. They wandered about in sheepskins and goatskins, destitute, afflicted, and mistreated. And you know what? The world was not worthy of them. They wandered in deserts, mountains, caves, holes in the ground. And all these were approved through their faith, but did not receive what was promised, since God had provided something better for us, so that they would not be made perfect without us. There is a cost of discipleship. But in the words of Christian martyr Jim Elliot, he is no fool who gives up what he cannot keep in order to obtain what he cannot lose. Ministry success is not weighed by any measure other than our obedience to heed the call of God. I'm Steve Wiggins, and this is the Groundworks Ministries podcast. Now, Groundworks Ministries operates entirely through financial donations from faithful people like you. And yes, we need your monthly support. Donating is secure and easy at our website, groundworksministries.com. You know, another way to help is just tell people about us. Share these podcasts with friends and family and on your social media. And of course, you can always direct folks to our website, groundworksministries.com.